And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Los Semifinales, here to the semifinals of the PiGosaur Cup number 40. Again, it's been a bit of a shorter broadcast here. We've been blazing our way through the round of 32, 16, and quarterfinals as well. Now we've made it to our top 4 players, and we already had a crazy upset. Shameless just took down Australia, and now we have our TvP. We have our semis. We have our first best of 5 of the broadcast. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of torches, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Max Killer himself, the Red Protoss. Representing Team Little Fairy, it is Shameless. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our Terran versus Protoss matchup. Let's go. Double gas. Okay, first things first, double gas open out of ByuN. But before we get into the double gas, before we get into the more tech-heavy start out of our Terran player, welcome one and all to Torches. Torches is one of the more aggressive, one of the more unorthodox maps in the map pool. You can go for a lot of all-ins. There are a lot of cheeky builds and cheeky plays you can go for because of the short rush distance by air, short rush distance by ground, the gold minerals, the gold bases, the tumors that expire over time, the healing pad, more gold bases as well, inaccessible main base as there's no Reaper Cliff, but also we do have a bit of a larger natural. I think there's just so much that comes into this, so much that comes into play, which is why we often don't see this map in shorter series. But here in the best of 5, we get more maps, we get more games, we get to experience Torches. Oh boy, let's go. Let us go. Also, during the break, a big shout out to G Knights in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Do appreciate the support. I hope you enjoy the casting, the content, and the StarCraft. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. I saw someone asking about Percival as well. I mean, we can get into him, especially if he is able to make it to the semis. But Percival, he came back to the game at the end of last year, around like October, November-ish of last year. He came back to StarCraft, and he has been devoting and dedicating a lot of time to streaming and to improving, to laddering, and he has been very active this year specifically, this year, 2025. And over the past couple of months, like, all that practice has been paying off, and he's been excelling in regards to his results. Over the past couple of months, his results have been getting better and better, so he's been having deeper runs in this tournament. So don't blame you if maybe you haven't noticed him, just because maybe his tournament runs have been ending earlier, have been ending more prematurely, but now he's been making these deeper runs into quarterfinals, into semifinals, and sometimes even into grand finals as well. As ByuN does get into the mineral line, so far 1 probe does go down, he gets 1, he is going for 2, yeah, does get a second probe, and can he get 3? We can get 3 probes do go down, 4 probes even, Reapers do fall, and checking the vision, ByuN, what did he see? He did not get eyes on the tech, but the Hellion does hit the natural, just hyper aggression out of ByuN, throwing everything away, getting another probe, and another 6 workers. Hellion will finally go down, as he does get behind the mineral. Yep, does scout, does confirm the Twilight Council, does confirm Blink, does confirm it's not a Stargates. Meanwhile, across the map, remember ByuN, he went for the faster double gases, faster factory into a 1-1-1. It's going to be Tech Lab into Cyclone, and we'll see if he goes for a Winter Mine. We'll see if he goes for an add-on swap. We'll see what the follow-up is. There it is, add-on swap. So add-on swap at Tech Lab on the starboard. This can lead into Banshee play. But now waiting for the drop. Percival has been very vocal in his thoughts about TvP. I can't say I blame him. Yes, unfortunately, Percival has been, he's got his own, he's got his own kind of challenges to overcome, unfortunately. Fun fact, despite him being vocal about TvP, it's his best matchup, 100%. Like, I would say his strongest matchup is TvP. Percival, he's been known to cry, unfortunately, about and balance wine. But hopefully he grows out of it. As ByuN does pull away. Jesus, that's a 4 HP medevac. Jesus. I respect it. That's nice. I don't. Oh, God. As from here, getting into zone 3-1 on follow-up here, getting into stim. Stim is on the way. And ByuN is moving out. We were curious earlier if we were going to go for the add-on swap into Banshee. The answer is no. Add-on swap into Stim. Stim is on the way. ByuN does push. Oh boy, and this can hit quite hard. Shameless, sure, his third base is secure, but what about his natural? Shameless, he doesn't see the move outs. He doesn't scout the move out. He's not quite in position. Does have to take the shield battery. But ByuN is moving in. Going to be deflected. Shameless holding his own, going for the tank. Oh! Does get some hits off. Oh. Gets a Marine. Here it does pull away. Does pull away. ByuN is going to be deflected. ByuN going to be expanding towards Shameless, towards his opponent. On the one hand, ByuN, his earlier timing didn't really hit. It was going to be a more ByuN-esque push pre-Stim, but now the upgrades are about to kick in. Stim, combat shields +1 as well. The upgrades are on the horizon. And ByuN, even though his push was deflected, he didn't really lose much. Looking at his unit lost tab, he lost 1 Marine. Lost 1 Marine. So the move out here is still going to be quite powerful for ByuN. Getting a CC, soon to be expanding, soon to be moving out. So chat, who is this Shameless person? If you maybe haven't been watching StarCraft for the past couple of years, you might be unfamiliar just because Shameless is a newer player to the scene, but he did hit the pro scene in 2024, beginning of 2024, so it's been around over a year, and Shameless has been rising through the ranks quite quickly amongst the European Protoss scene specifically, has been excelling quite well. We cast him quite regularly, so if you want to see some more Shameless, we have like what, hundreds of, maybe not hundreds, like we have tens of VODs on YouTube over the past year of StarCraft, year and a half even. Shameless, he's very young. I would say he's 18 right now, right? I want to say he turned 18 at the start of the year. So now he does get on top of the tanks. Tanks going to be going down. Nice pickups. He gets one, gets both tanks. Oh, but alas, there's nothing left. Yeah, there's no Zealots remaining here. Did get the tanks to the army, does send forward. It's still going to be a clutch hold here for Shameless as he bleeds out more Zealots. And looks like Shameless, he barely doesn't have enough. Unfortunately, no shield batteries, no defensive setup here. And with that, GG gets called. ByuN, he breaks through that defensive line, and ByuN, he takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. ByuN does take a lead. But again, Shameless, he had a decent engage there, at least initially. Unfortunately, again, the rush distance by ground on this map is very short. Very short rush distance by ground. You can be even more aggressive, even more assertive here. And again, Shameless, he had no defensive setup at that third base. With that, ByuN takes a lead. Let's go. Again, ByuN is coming in as a favorite player here. Shameless, he's already caused one big upset so far. We'll see if he can cause another. That describes me pretty well. Haven't been watching in the past couple of years. I'll check him out. Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, like, he's one of like the younger generation of European players. Like, when I think of like the younger up and comers, I think of Shameless, I think of Baby Marine, I think of GG Machine, I think of Eva, I think of Arrowfire as well. Again, as I mentioned, like, Shameless, he only just hit 18. I think this year, either this year or last year, he just hit 18. Like, he's very young. Not as young as GG Machine, but he's part of the wave of like the next generation of pros in StarCraft. He's part of the Zoomers pack. Yeah. These kids. These goddamn kids. Do I dare look? Is ByuN twice the age of Shameless? No shot. Not quite. But close. Yeah. ByuN's what, 32? Let's see. Yeah, 32. Okay. So not quite. Almost twice the age. Isn't someone turning 18 this week? Oh, who's there is someone's birthday this week. I saw it on Twitter. I'm sure it is. Hold on, I can look at the calendar. Jesus, there's a lot of people. Whose birthday is it today? Akeron, Full Heart, Neo, and Rostock. It was Neo's birthday. That's it, Neo's birthday. But yeah, Rostock, his birthday's today. How old is Rostock? I know Rostock's also quite young, right? No shot. Oh no, I shouldn't have looked. Rostock, he just turned 17. God damn it. Rostock, he's the Ukrainian Protoss, for those that are curious. I didn't realize he was that young. He just turned, either he just turned 17 or 18 today. His birthday is the 16th of July, which is today, but I don't know if it's, I think it's crossed over to the 16th in Europe. So yeah, Rostock, I think he just, happy birthday, Rostock, happy birthday. Just turned 18, there you go, there you go. But here we go, spawning in the right corner here of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right corner, we have the red Protoss player, himself, representing Team Little Fairy down in the series, looking to bounce back, looking to make a series out of this. It is Shameless. Friday, GG Machine turns 16. Aye. It's crazy. I'm just looking at our birthday list. There's a lot of people's birthday this month. For those that are curious, we run the SE2 Birthdays Twitter accounts. But we've been I will say that we've been really busy with StarCraft as of late, really busy casting and doing things behind the scenes that the Twitter account has been a little bit neglected over the past maybe like 6 months, maybe a year. So we'll get back on it, I'm sure, soon. We'll get back on it. But I still have the Google Calendar with all the players' birthdays. So see, this month is Harston, Maru, Snoot, his birthday is this month. Tenshi, Shino, Ranger, Azure, Alicia, Tails' birthday is this month. Dolan, sort of. Ollie's birthday. M. Canning, yo, the Can Man, his birthday. Shadown's birthday is this month. Sayar, Golden, Kalaris, Shakti. So for those that are curious, again, there's a Twitter account called S2 Birthdays, which is manually scheduled, by the way. Which we manually schedule the birthdays for all the players on a yearly basis. We've been doing so for a couple of years at this point. Say a couple of years, for a long time now. And I have a Google Calendar with all the players' birthdays on it, which we also did manually as well. God, so many birthdays. But as we get into this, a big shout out to Son of Vulcan in the chat. God, my God. Thank you so much, Son of Vulcan. Thank you so much for subscribing for 2 months. Thank you. Do appreciate it. As we get into our openers here, once again, we did have a double gas opener, Faster Factory. It was a tech lab on the racks into add-on swap into early Cyclone production out of our Terran player. And with this into an early Starport, this can go into another add-on swap. We'll keep an eye on ByuN to see how aggressive he's going to be. Last game, we went into earlier tank production, into an earlier stim push. We'll see what he goes for this time. Meanwhile, across the map, Shameless going for his own tech of choice, Twilight Council out of our Protoss. Twilight Council opener out of Shameless. Into Blink. Oh boy, and welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger map, more defensive bases, longer rush distance by ground. We saw that Shameless, he barely didn't defend in the last game, but here he'll have a greater opportunity to defend and to fortify his bases and to get into the mid game. do want to believe here that this map is going to be favoring Shameless if you were one that does really excel in the mid game instead of in the early game. Snooze, what a throwback. What a throwback, baby. Yeah. But it is his birthday in a couple of days. Yo, Moro's birthday is next month? I'm just distracted by the calendar. I was a big Moro fan. I mean, I was a big fan of a lot of these players. But now though, we are going to be selling. We do have an initial mine drop here into the main. So mine drop, there's the add-on swap as well. We were curious. Actually, sorry, no add-on swap, but tech level and star put into Banshee play. Okay, so remember last game we had early tank production into early stim into an earlier push. This time we have tank production, but Banshees alongside it instead of the rush into those bio upgrades. Okay, so the Banshees are amassing. Drop here outside of the bases. I'm counting turning 31. Yeah, he's so young back. He's a year younger than ByuN. Crazy. Now then, ByuN does move out. We have Stim behind this. As he moves out, the observer did spot this. Shameless is aware. You can see him moving out. Just try to engage ahead of time. And we'll see if he can slow ByuN down. Does come in from behind. Trying to find a better angle. Ideally, he can catch that tank. Can he get him? Oh, he wants it. Oh, does blink in. Does blink in, and he will get the first tank. No, he doesn't. Barely not. Ay. The tank does survive. So close. One more Stalker shot. He would have gotten it. Tank does live at the same time. We do have the drop into the main. Shameless does pull away. Does pull away. We'll lose 2 probes in the main base, and ByuN backs off. ByuN, he backs off. He retreats. He saves the tank on 5 HP. And just like the last game, he backs off and he's waiting for a later timing with Stim, with combat shields, with those upgrades. So ByuN is going to be forced back. Shameless, he will be able to saturate his 3rd base. And as you mentioned before, like I do favor Shameless having a stronger early game here to be able to get into the mid game, and so far that is the case. So far he's looking a little bit more comfortable compared to game 1. And we'll see if that continues. Oh. Nice. Does bait at the mine shot. Pulls back into the main. ByuN does push to the center. Observer likewise does scout the army. Shameless getting ready. We'll see if this time he can get on top of the tank. Breaking in. Oh! Gets a Widowmine. Gets a Widowmine, pulls away. Collapsing the army, Zelda coming from behind. At least try to. They try to flank. The tank boys here do target by the Stalkers, and it's going to be too much. Yeah, Zelda cleaned up the tanks. They hold their ground, and Shameless, he will lose everything here to the push. He saw it coming. He tried to engage, but alas, GG gets called. ByuN, he overwhelms, and ByuN takes game number 2. GG. Does take the second game. Again, there was a lot of opportunity there for Shameless, especially early on when it came to the first backstab to catch a couple of key units. Imagine that push with 1 less tank. Imagine that push with half of the firepower of that tank line as well. That would have been a massive pickoff. That would have maybe even deterred the entire move out of ByuN as well. But in the end, Shameless, he wasn't quite able to catch him. In the end, Shameless was trying to get ready here for the main push. The mine shots were a little bit brutal as well, and he was also coming in from really one angle. He tried to flank, but again, not the best angle of attack gank there from Shameless. Got shut down. GG. GG well played, and with that, ByuN does extend his lead, and now we're getting into game number 3, and I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping that Shameless can make a series out of this, but the pressure is on. The pressure is on, and things are looking a little bit more bleak here for Shameless. I'm hoping that we can go the distance. I'm hoping that we can get into at least a game 4, but we'll see if we can bring it back. Up next, we're going to be loading into Persephone. Meanwhile, the upper semis is underway. We just got an update. Percival did take down Geralt 2-0 and is up against MaxPax in the upper semifinals. They are, of course, being covered by, I think, Dave? I think Dave Test is covering that series. Depending on the length of our series, we might be able to catch him. Might be able to catch him like game 2 or game 3. Or game 4. Or game 5. We'll get there. Now we're getting ready here for our 3rd game. As a reminder, best of 5. But now ByuN is on match points. One more game is all he needs to claim the series. We go. Nerf should make Reaper action figures in ByuN's honor since he got them nerfed so many times. True. I always think that there was a lot of missed opportunities when it comes to like certain like quote unquote like merchandise. Like, I think the obvious one that I will always harp on is I wish when Gumiho was on Psystorm Gaming for, like, the years that he was on Psystorm, I would have loved a Gumiho towel, like a hand towel. Like, a Gumiho branded Psystorm Gaming hand towel sells itself. That would have been amazing. That would have been beautiful. But little things like that that are iconic to certain players, like, I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities, unfortunately. Smooch. Which was one of the best things about WTL. For those that remember, for World Team League, every season they would have pins and stickers, and they'd have a lot of references as well. A lot of references to the players and to StarCraft. I think, for example, when we competed, Vindicta Miguelito, he got his own branded sticker and pin and badge, I should say, and he was branded as Captain America. He had like a Captain America shield with the Ducklings logo on the shield as well. It was beautiful because of his performance in World Team League. Like little things like that. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 3. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. It is a Shameless. Here we go. Are going to be moving out. I think that was something that the Korean scene was a little bit better at. A lot of the Korean fans would often make, for certain players, would often make a lot of cheerfuls and would have like a lot of things that they would hand out during like GeoSoul performances for players like Stats. I think recently Monotone Soon did that for I want to say for the Team NV players. In this most recent season of GSL, which was really cool. Can I find that? Am I thinking of Monotone Su? No, I'm thinking of someone else. But yeah, like an old school Korean fan, like had a bunch of little sands and cheerfuls and fan arts of some of the Team NV players. If it was Team NV, it would have been Maru. It would have been for Maru, for Bunny, Maru Bunny, SOS, and it would have been one other player as well. Maybe Nightmare. which would have been for Season 1. Maybe Nightmare. For now, though, Stargate. For now, we have our Stargate opener here out of Shameless. Mixing it up quite heavily, actually. Okay, well, Jesus, sorry, I was reminiscing on other things. But yeah, there's going to be a Stargate opener here from the side of Shameless. From here, going to an Oracle, potentially even just going straight into Phoenixes. Bold move here. This is really risky, especially against more aggressive players. And we're seeing quite a bit of strong timing attacks here from ByuN, so I am concerned here for Shameless. As behind this, ByuN once again going for the faster factory, delayed CC, going for the earlier Cyclone. And we'll see if he goes into Banshee once again, or if he does go into something a little bit different. My eyes are on ByuN. Phoenix first here out of Shameless. Bold move. Does open Phoenix. Cyclone is on the way. Oof, takes down a second probe. And the Phoenix is revealed. Oh, yeah, getting a third probe as well. Yeah, rough losses here from Shameless. Hellion into the mineral line. Shouldn't get much more done. Thankfully, is cleaned up. And here comes ByuN moving out with his drop. Does move out behind this, going for a Viking. I mean, again, he did scout the initial Phoenix. Oh no! Scout the Phoenix. Lock-on is brutal, and the Phoenix does go down. A rough start here for Shameless. In general, Phoenix openers do leave you very vulnerable to early game aggression, and even more so as Phoenixes are going down. ByuN is pushing. And ByuN is looking, hunting for another Phoenix. It's on the hunt. Shameless, we gotta calm down. Again, Phoenix openers mean you have that much less to defend. The upside is that they can shut down drop play, like Widowmine drop openers and Banshee-based openers as well. Like, there are certain instances where Phoenixes can excel. But here, right now, Shameless is in danger. As you can see, ByuN just rallies everything. He knows that his opponent is in danger. He knows that the opponent is vulnerable. Phoenixes are racing back. They are a little bit indecisive. Going back around. ByuN dropping into the main. Lock-ons here on the Phoenix. Phoenix does get away. And ByuN is loading up and dropping everything into the main base. There should be... are there enough Stalkers, though? Go for the medevac. Medevac does go down. But he does get a Stalker, does get a Phoenix, does get another Stalker as well. Down to 3 Stalkers. Ooh, down to 2. 2 Stalkers left. Not like this. Marines, they start to step in. They focus on the Phoenix. Phoenix is harder down. Stalker as well. And these trades are just far too efficient here. It gets into the mineral line. Probes are falling. And GG. Good luck gets called. And ByuN, he will take the series 3-0. Advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. There is a reason why Stargate openers are very out of meta. There used to be all the craze a couple of years ago, but in current meta, in current day, in current StarCraft, they are a rare sight just because you are so vulnerable to early game aggression, to these early pushes, to these early timings. Phoenixes, they can lift up a unit at a time. As we mentioned, they can do a great job at shutting down Cloak Banshees or Banshee-based builds. Likewise, Widowmine drops as well, but against something more dedicated, against early Cyclones, Marines, against that early pressure, that's where you can crumble. That's where you can crumble. That's where you can fall apart. That's where Phoenixes are less effective. And with that, GG. GG, well played. ByuN does overwhelm, does take the series, and ByuN does advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Really risky play there towards the end there by Shameless. And with that, we are now getting ready for our next series. Let's catch up on what has been going on. Let's figure out where we are. !B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at yourselves.